0, 21, 12. Are we still alive?
Greetings, Earth Traveler! I want to discuss modern tablets, and in the process will give my feedback on tablet from Apple on M1 processor. I want to talk about all tablets in general, why it does not make sense for most of the people, and how the technosphere is switching the use case of the devices down the horizontal axis. In the end of 2023, I have recorded a video called Smartphone of the Future 1.0, where I discussed my vision of the smartphone of the future that will have triple foldable design, like on other planets.
I really want this device, smartwatches and foldable tablets, to completely replace smartphones and laptops. I'm a little bit tired of all of this, but also excited, because future will bring a lot. Just wait. Just wait. You'll see in next 10 years how our society will change in a good and also in a bad way.
And my initial goal is to replace camera, laptop and tablet with just single device. It was long before, and only almost a year after, we actually saw this desire materializing in the real world. In 2024, Huawei have brought the first triple foldable phone to the market as a very expensive techno demo of what is to come. I will talk about it further down this video. I will get straight to the point. I kinda tolerate Apple tablet a lot more than Apple smartphone, but not for the reason you might think. This tablet has the same restricted operating system and weird unlogical UI and buttons, a very uncomfortable user experience, and the same Apple stupid policy where you cannot download and install any applications whatsoever, except Apple's App Store, to get 30% cut from your money transactions, even inside cash grab scam pay-to-win games that take advantage of depressed, ill people and children with casino lottery gotcha practices. I talked about it more in depth on my video called Android User Tries iPhone. Also, I faced a problem. Initially, I wanted to use my tablet as a second monitor with Apple laptop, but I needed to have Apple ID on all devices, so they can communicate with each other. But what if my tablet have account of one of my family members and laptop of another? Not to tell about response time, and overall experience was uncomfortable and not so easy to use as I thought, and it made me to completely refuse this idea. So, magical ecosystem appeared as a soap bubble for me. These headaches and artificial restrictions made me stop even to bother. But, saying all that, it does not feel the same on the tablet as on the phone, and I think I know why. I want to ask you a question. Do you have a tablet? And if so, how are you using it? What are you doing with it? Because the reason why Apple OS felt less annoying on tablet, simply because I used it less. I do not have to deal with photography, with gallery, with calls and online messengers. For the most part, I just used it for web browsing, watching YouTube and making notes for my videos. By the way, speaking about notes, I quickly switched to a paper and pen in real paper textbook. There is just simply something very off in digital text, something artificial and less magical, where my thoughts cannot materialize as easy as on paper. I want to quickly mention design and build quality. Apple tablets and laptops feel a lot more robust and reliable in terms of build quality than other Apple devices. It feels metal and strong. But I still used a protection case, as well as placed a protection glass on the screen, because it felt not so comfortable to scratch Apple stylus on the surface of the screen. And I made the same on all Apple devices. Even on Apple smartwatch. Especially on Apple smartwatch. And the screen itself. It uses mini LED that I enjoy a lot more than OLED. I feel less eye strains and headaches without annoying OLED flickering and PWM performance that makes eyes to leak outside. But what I have noticed, despite having high refresh rate, displays on all Apple devices have very slow response time and visible ghosting that leaves trails on edges of UI elements and inside games. The same goes on mini LED on this Apple tablet. That's why it feels slow and not so responsive. But despite all these problems, I will take it any day of the week over OLED toxic radiation. Of course, you can draw with stylus, and so-called Apple Pencil is a very weird concept. Without buttons, you cannot turn it on or off manually, and it is a main slogan of Apple. The look over functions and ease of use. You cannot change battery. and we can only guess what will happen when battery will die inside it. And it will be guaranteed, because all batteries are consumables. So many times I found that it drained battery over multiple days, so I always had to charge it. But despite this very unlogical, weird and stupid design, it has a nice amount of pressure sensitivity, angle detection, so you can use it as a standalone, fully capable device for digital drawing. Of course, it cannot replace my Wacom tablets and big large studio Cintiq device, but to use it on the couch while walking in the park or traveling, I think it is very nice, if you can handle Apple's restricted operating system. Digital drawing is cool and dandy, but it is a very niche scenario. How many of you are painters and illustrators? How many of you absolutely need it inside a non-professional level tablet? And here where I see the main stumbling stone and problem. Most of the people buy tablets to watch YouTube on the toilet, on the couch, bed, and maybe to give to kids so they can play games. Watching movies, YouTube videos, play games, it is a lot more pleasing and comfortable on the colorful, top-notch screen, with good contrast levels and with nice speakers, so audio can be immersive. But to access good screen and audio, you need to overpay lots of money, because most of the companies, Apple and non-Apple, usually put good quality screens and speakers only in the high-tier models with more powerful processors. That makes it very expensive, and people just do not see the point of spending $800 to $2,000 just to watch a freaking movie or play Fruit Ninja. Most of the people do not care about processing or graphical powers, they just want good screen and audio. And most of the less expensive budget-friendly tablets usually have trash, I'm not joking, LED poor dim screens in 2025. And audio is a joke also. Good speakers are not expensive to produce. It is artificial limitation to divide people on poor and rich. Or just pure ignorance of the manufacturers who think that people do not need good audio. Most of the modern devices sound like bean can, despite costing $500+. Pure insanity. There are almost no devices with best screen and best audio, but without powerful processor and graphical chip and raw powers. And speaking about processor and graphical powers, yes, it has picture drawing capabilities and video editing software like DaVinci Resolve, but tablet operating system is nowhere near the ease of use of dedicated personal computer. And Apple deliberately do not want to make Macintosh OS available on the tablet. Gatekeeping for the sake of gatekeeping. They think that this way they won't cannibalize the sales of their devices and will be able to sell me both of them. But in reality, I am wondering why I have to buy both of them in the first place if there are so many artificial software restrictions. The same goes to Samsung's DeX mode. It is very nice and has almost zero analogies, except Huawei. But this desktop mode is not personal computer replacement. Working with files is awkward and not very comfortable. There are no analogies of the personal computer programs, so looks like tablets are in the very weird spot. Not a smartphone, but not quite a laptop. And here, I want to talk about my vision of the future and how modern devices are transforming into another state. I see smartwatches becoming something new, blurring the line between smartphone in terms of communication and networking device, to make and receive audio and video calls, listen to music from, on the go. Smartphones will go into double, triple and quadra foldable state, blurring the line between tablets, small laptops and small point-and-shoot conventional cameras. And laptops will completely replace stationary computers that can be used on the desk and on the go. And of course, all their devices will have 3.5mm audio jack, because it is not going anywhere, and will still be used even in 3026. We are already seeing this transition and steps in this direction. And more steps will be done before physical implants inside human body will be introduced to our planetary game that will use electricity of our flesh. So my friends, that's why I kinda see no point for me to use a tablet. I'm looking into the good foldable phone to take its place in my life. And right now, I found a good device that I'm using instead of tablet to watch movies, make notes and listen to music. And you won't guess what it is. Alright, I will reveal my cards. It is 16-inch MacBook on M1 Max processor. But how on earth? M1 Max is fully capable personal computer that can easily edit videos and do all kinds of heavy-duty professional computer stuff. Why am I using it as just a tablet? How rude! Is it a joke? Find out in my next video about Apple laptop. And also next series will be about lots of other laptops, such as Zephyrs from Asus with 32 gigs of soldered, unchangeable RAM, 16 and 14-inch size, with RTX 4090 and 4070 graphics cards inside, with Ryzen and Intel Ultra processors that claim to be an Apple efficiency killer. I placed my old HP plastic laptop on shelf, and since that time, it was literally covered by dust. Subscribe not to miss out the large laptop battle with in-depth tests of raw performance inside lots of apps for photo editing, video editing, music and audio creation, 3D rendering, Unreal Engine, programming, and of course, gaming benchmarks. It will be fun, because I find laptops to be more interesting than phones and cameras. And I think that in not so distant future, laptops will completely replace stationary computers. Thank you for watching, my friends. I'm wishing you a very intergalactic, perfect, beyond reality day.